Eternal relationships we come back over and over again with our loved ones, reuniting in countless lifetimes. Our bodies change from incarnation to incarnation, but our souls are the same. When we recognize the other as one of our own beloved soulmates, the gulf of separation between us vanishes. We are reassured and comforted. Loneliness and despair disappear. We learn through our relationships, which present opportunities for giving and receiving love and for practicing patience, compassion, and charity. They are also tests, supplying us with feedback on whether or not we are learning these and other lessons. Are we patient and loving with each other, or are we fearful and frustrated? Our relationships provide the answers and point the way to spiritual growth. The following stories illustrate the bountiful treasures contained in our relationships and show us how we can reap these treasures to accelerate our progress. As we do so, we not only heal ourselves and our loved ones, but all the souls on earth. To see and appreciate the soul of others with whom you are in a relationship is a higher state of awareness. To see only their outer characteristics provides a limited and incomplete perspective. Their current personality, just like their current physical body, is a temporary manifestation. They have had many bodies and many personalities, but only one enduring soul, only one continuous spiritual essence. See this essence and you will see the real person. You are in relationship with all other beings. The relationships may be brief, such as with the waiter in a restaurant, a sales clerk in a store, or another driver on the road. Each of these has had many lifetimes and therefore many personas. Each has had his or her own infancy, childhood, and adolescence in his or her current body. They have brought all these past life and current life elements into the present moment, the moment of relationship with you. If you can understand and appreciate the beauty and depth of their soul, all its history and spiritual experiences, your relationship with them will be much more meaningful and fulfilling. You will be in relationship with their soul. The Path of Thorns. A number of the regressions that I experienced at your weekend workshop in 2002 in Los Angeles led me to resolving a heartbreak that I had been dealing with for too long. I saw 3 different experiences, all with the same man, a man who had said to me in this life, "I have never felt for anyone what I feel for you. I have never been so comfortable or attracted to anyone else in my life." But you need to realize that just because we are soulmates does not mean that we will be getting married, because we will not. I had replied, "That's fine, as long as you realize that I will not be coming back around for you again." At the time, I wasn't sure why I said it, but I knew that I meant it. That special weekend, I had 3 regressions of our pasts together. In one, we were both the students of a druid, and we hand-fasted. But when the druid died, he ran from the marriage. In another, I was his younger brother. He had promised our parents, as we went off to war, that he would look after me. When we entered the city and were attacked by enemy soldiers, he ran off into the fray, leaving me alone by the gates, a very young and terrified boy. I was the first to die, an arrow through my throat and one to the chest. In the third life, I was once again a student of a druid, and he a warrior. He went off to war with my father, I went to the grove to learn the secrets of the trees. When I came back, the gate had been destroyed, the town was cinders, and my father's and lover's chariots were outside the walls. All my people were dead. I took the horses from the chariots and rode to the next town for safety. Those were 3 lives in which I saw him repeat his pattern. He loved me dearly, but he always left me alone with a broken promise. This life has been no different, and I knew I had come back for him for the last time. In the final regression, I sat in my garden on a bed, and I tried to get him to come take my hand. He looked at it and started to reach for it, he wanted to take it. But instead he screamed and ran off into the thorn bushes, using a scythe to try to hack his way through as he gathered scratches and cuts. I was sitting on the bed with my guide, a being from somewhere else, and I asked why he would try to break a path through thorns when I offered him a way out. I was told, "You can only make choices for yourself. You can offer way out." I was told, "You can only make choices for yourself. You can offer to help others find their way, but it is their decision if they will accept your help. You cannot force them to accept, even if you are in the right. The choice to take the path set out for them must be theirs. If they are too afraid, then they will force a path as they will. You can do nothing about it but mourn their loss and yours." Through my tears, I looked down and saw a spark inside me. "I'm pregnant." I said, and my guide said, here only, not in your world. I didn't understand how that was possible, and so the guide explained. What you see inside you is waiting to be born, but it isn't a child of you and a man, it is you as you can be if you do not turn from your path. That is you who is waiting to be born. The choice is yours to either embrace that child and watch it blossom and grow, or let it die as you too force your way through the brambles. Only you can make this choice, as only your beloved can make his. I chose to let it blossom and grow. And even though the path that I have taken has seemed harder at times than cutting through brambles and thorns, I know I made the right choice. I still get lost, I still forget, and I still need a hand to help me up when I fall, but I would rather take those offered hands than walk off in armor, letting no one in. Both Brian and Carol and many of the people I've met through the workshops and professional training groups I have attended have offered me helping hands, as I hope I have them. This has enriched my life, and hopefully I have, in some way, touched them as well. We all move through this life together. Susan Faith has picked the path of courage. Destiny leads us to the decision points, but then our free will selects which path to follow. Her lover has not chosen as courageously or as wisely as she. Before you are born, your soul plans the trajectory of the life that lies ahead. Who will the significant people in that life be, and when will you meet? Whom will you choose to be your parents? Will you be a teacher, or an artist, or will you take on some other role? Destiny will place you in those particular circumstances, it will dictate that you encounter a certain person, at a certain time, and perhaps in a certain place. The people it arranges for you to meet are frequently the people with whom you have lived in a past life. There is karma together. They may even be your soulmates, pushing you on toward greater spiritual growth. Once you meet them, you then exercise your free will. Do you stay? Do you leave? Do you cut your own path through the thorns and brambles, or do you take the outstretched hand reaching forth to help you? You may choose to love them, to befriend them, to work with them, to marry them. Or you might reject them, arguing that they do not look the way you want them to, or have a different religion than you, or live in the wrong part of the world. These are your choices, and this is how you learn. Everything is part of a master plan for the soul's growth. The act of making such decisions sets off alternative futures, the future with those people, the future without them, and so on. This is where destiny and free will interact together, and this is where things become interesting. Advanced souls can point the way and illuminate the path, but they cannot decide for us. Ultimately, the path is an inner journey that we must all make ourselves. Fat's final regression was a metaphor about choosing wisely. Her spiritual guide presented a compelling explanation of the process. Reading Fat's story, I was instantly reminded of the messages that the masters provided me through Catherine, the patient I described in many lives, many masters. Even the masters could not make such decisions for us. We must learn and climb the spiritual steps ourselves. Soulmate, this is a part of Zindagi Ki Roshni consultancy. It has been established for those who have lost someone and for those who are very sad in their life. About 100 PDF books and 20 short audio books of this topic will be sent to those who join it. This data will be sent to their email or WhatsApp. If you want to join this organization, then please send WhatsApp message to this number.